All right, folks, once again, Jason Hetland back here with ForTheRide.com and the Rodeo Roundup. A real quick recap of night number 2 last night right here at Thomas and Mack. What an outstanding performance it was. A ton of rides, great rides. You know, not quite the rank pen that night number 1 had, but a very special night for the fans. And the World Championship race is closer than ever once again. Coming into last night's performance, there was 143 points that were separating number 1 and number 2 in the world. Now, last night, Valderon was not able to cover his bull, and Salvano Alves did. And that will widen the point standings just a little bit, but still plenty within grasp, I believe, of the top 6 riders. There's enough points left here at the PBR World Finals for any one of those guys to be able to make the World Championship status. But 221 points, just over that, separates Salvano and Valderon for the World Championship race as a top 2. What a great night it was. Speaking of Salvano's ride, you cannot imagine what happened. I don't know if you saw it on the PBR, on the TV or not, but if you didn't, I want you to go on YouTube and try to find Frank Newsom. One of our Dickies Dura bullfighters took a huge shot in the last bull ride of the night last night and got knocked out, was laid out on the arena floor, got up on his feet and walked out of the arena. I don't think he knew where he was quite, and he said, you know, I saw his mouth on the big screen. He says, no, I want to go back out there. And they had to tell him a couple times that the event was actually over and that was the last ride, and he calmed down a little bit. A lot of key things happened last night as well on the Cowboy side. A lot of great rides. You know, Luke Snyder is currently sitting in number 1 for the finals average with 177 points on 2, so he's rode 2 for 2. I believe that's going to leave, we have 3 guys, 3 of them, that have rode both bulls coming into tonight. That would be Luke Snyder, Robson Palermo, and Renato Nunez. All 3 have 2 qualified rides coming into night number 3. But that's not the story that everybody that was live in the Thomas and Mack Center is going to remember. Last night, Austin Meyer, night number 1, he got his right leg stepped on. Everybody thought it was shattered. Austin went to the doctor prior to performance last night and has severe ligament damage in his right ankle. Could barely walk up the red carpet, could barely walk through the introductions at the beginning of the show, and you knew he was hurting. Now, he drew a bull that was really hard to work with inside that chute. He took 4 or 5 opportunities to get on that bull, and that bull went crazy, jumping, kicking, swirling around that buck and chute. And if you look inside a buck and chute, you get a 2,000-pound animal, and your legs on either side, there's no room for your legs, ankles, knees to move. He came out of there 3 times, and finally he was so much in pain that he just collapsed on the back of the buck and chute. And you could tell he was just writhing. He didn't want to go. He could barely even function. And the Thomas and Mack went crazy. They stood by one of their favorite bull riders of all time, Austin Meyer, and helped him to his feet. You could see that bad boy Moore helmet shaking up and down, said, I'm going to do this for the fans that are here live to see me at the 2012 World Finals. Not only did he get on the bull with a horrible injury to his ankle where he can barely walk and barely function, but did he make a second highest score of the night ride and scored 89 huge points last night after spending about 7 or 8 minutes inside that buck and chute just getting thrashed around in that hurt ankle. It was something that you are going to remember for the rest of your lives if you were here live inside the Thomas and Mack Center on night number 2. Now tonight, night number 3, awesome show again. One thing you're going to have to look for is Chicken on the Chain. Chicken on a Chain had a historic career in the PBR, and tonight will be his final buck out prior to his retirement at the end of the year. So it's going to be a very special night once again inside the Thomas and Mack Center with Chicken on the Chain, and we will feature that video later on in another show shortly. So on behalf of the PBR right here at the Thomas and Mack Center, I'm Jason Hetland with ForTheRide.com and your host of the Rodeo Roundup podcast.